Well, let's put it this way. When I was a little boy growing up in Rogers, we rode our bicycles all over Rogers. We walked the streets of my cousin and I had a first cousin born about the same time I was. We walked the streets of Rogers unaccompanied by anybody, looking for cigar butts and old cigar butts in the gutters, that we'd walk around with acting like we were smoking. It was safe. Streets weren't paved. The downtown area, the immediate downtown area was paved. My grandma and grandpa's house, which was on Fifth Street, was not paved. In fact, I remember when the iceman brought ice for their wooden ice box. I remember when the milk was delivered. Those things are long gone. I remember 102 was a dirt road. I remember when the Bentonville Square was dead all weekend. There was nobody there. I remember one time coming back from Camp Robinson. I was a little boy driving into Rogers, and I saw the population sign, 5,400, and now 67,000. Instead of a bunch of separate cities and mostly country, it's one giant metropolitan area. There's hardly any distinction. We came in on a flight from, we'd actually been to Belize to see some property her brother owns, and we flew in at night, and you couldn't really tell where Bentonville ended, Rogers ended, or Bentonville began, or Bentonville ended and Centerton began. It's Springdale. It has grown so much into a huge metropolitan area that, and I miss that. I miss the quieter, more country Benton County that I grew up in, and the Benton County we had when I first ran for prosecuting attorney in 1978. The population changes have been, I think, the biggest thing. Of course, there was no Beaver Lake when I was a little boy. You brought Beaver Lake in, you brought Walmart in, you brought J.B. Hunt in, Daisy, and the place began to explode in an industrial way. The place used to be covered with orchards. I told you about my Klinger Orchards nursery. We're planting orchards everywhere. Orchards are gone. Even the little 20 acres we lived on in Rogers out in the country, we had a little orchard. Peaches and pears and apples, cherries, gone. So I think that's the acidification, I guess you could say, of Benton County from mainly rural to less and then less and less rural is, I think, the big change.
I just remember Bentonville as, 3,500 people or so. We had 2 movie theaters. We had mercantile stores. We had the Blacks Ready to Wear, the Putman's Men's Store, the Putman's Ladies Store. We had a Camp Lefevre store there. All of those things that went by the wayside. And you knew everybody in town, not in town, but you knew people. We had Roy's Office Supply. That's where we bought office supplies, stationery and paper and, whatever things. And the courthouse, the front steps of the courthouse were open. I think that's one of the things that I think, even when we tried to install an elevator one time on the outside of those steps. I don't know if it's still there or not, but I haven't been there. But and then the renovation started, and it separated people. It seemed like to me, rather than the togetherness that we had experienced. Now about the county itself, it's growing so fast, so many people moving in every day that we don't have any of the history that I grew up with, that I think is important for our people to learn about our history. It's all changed. We don't have, yes, we're all modern and everything's nice and new and pretty and all of that, but if you don't have what it took to get here, then I think I'm lecturing, and I shouldn't do that. But I'm just saying that it's changed so much that it's hard for me to accept in a lot of ways, because I do miss the old days.